All right, action time. Let's see if I can just get this up. Bang. Physics. So why is I just turn on the TikTok live, see if y'all can get the answer for the first two questions. The grind continues, ladies and gentlemen. The grind continues. So just wait for somebody to touch down inside the live. We get the show on the road. It's go time. See if y'all can get the answer. Feel free to jump in a MCQ revision session. No? And let me just see. I think I would just go live just on TikTok. Yes. Physics multiple choice revision. Alright, I hope all in hands you're crying in the background there. CSEC. Alright, so we live. Hi, are you hearing me? Everybody hearing me? So press like on the stream, physics people. We're gonna do some physics multiple choice. We're studying. So I'm really just checking out my systems, making sure everything is organized for when I start in earnest in March. I would be going a little more in March. I plan on doing a lot of sessions. So I'm making sure everything is cooking. So feel free to jump at this, answer this question. Hi, TikTok. Good to have you here with us. Which of the following is not a fundamental quantity? Which is not a fundamental quantity, people. Let's go. So we begin. We begin. Time is fundamental. Length is fundamental. Heat energy. What is that? Temperature is fundamental. So Kelvin, meters, seconds. So heat energy in the form of joules, right? This isn't fundamental. So B is our answer there. Number 2, what's the answer for number 2? Let's go. The unit of electrical resistance may be expressed as well. V is equal to IR. And I'm seeing what's the V stuff, ohms and all of that. So R, if I want to make R the subject of the formula, is V over I, voltage over I, the unit for I. The unit for V, volts, just volts. The unit for I is A, so I really want V over A, or V A, like that, over A to the power of -1. So the answer is A there. Are we cooking, class? Have we started the cooking process? In which of the following groups are the yes, this is physics, everybody who doing physics or CXC, you're going to enjoy this. Which of the following groups are the 4 increased electric currents listed in the order of increasing size? So we have electric currents here listed in order of increasing size. This is micro. So micro is times 10 to the power of -6. This is 10 to the power of 3. And then you go to 0.1. So this isn't good. Micro, milli is, this is 100 milliamps. So this actually is more than 100 milliamps. 100 milliamps mean 0.1 amps. 100 milliamps. So this isn't good as well. You're working with me. Increasing size, this isn't good because it starts off with a pretty big one, 1 times 10 to the power 3. So this is my last hope here. This is my last hope. 1 times 10 to the power 3 amps, 100 milliamps. None of them looking good, boy. None of them looking good. I need to check over this. Milli is 1,100 milliamps, and this is 0.01 amps. This is 100 milliamps. So none of these looking good. This is micro. I know for sure this one is out. Micro 0.01, 1 times 10 to the power of 3 amps. This is 1,000 amps. So this one should be at the end, like here, 1,000 amps. So the best answer is B. Best answer is B. But I think there could be something wrong with the question. in that this question was, what is called that when you scan something as it was scanned from a document. So I think that there may be an error here. So this is 100 milliamps. Milli means 10 to the power of negative 3. So 100 milliamps is more than 0.01 of an amp. So these two back to front. What y'all think? What y'all think about this question? The best answer I would go with would be B, but there's definitely an error here. Error in what we have so far. So we encounter an error in number 3. It's not unusual to encounter errors in these older. Maybe it was negative 3. Yeah, maybe it was supposed to be negative 3. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Number 4, we'll come back. It's not unusual to encounter errors in the papers. A student was asked to express the experimental result. Let's get the answer for number 4. Let me see if there's something that I'm missing in the scan. Let me see if there's something that I'm missing in the scan. But while I'm searching this up, let's get the answer for number 4. So number 4, student was asked to express the experimental result for the density of the mercury in standard form. Which of the following is the correct way of stating it? All right, well, this one is easy. We want this number to always be between 1 and 9. So these numbers are not between 1 and 9, so the answer is B. I wrote physics 4 years ago, and now I'm doing stick with the student of annual. Hey, big up Greg, big up Greg. It's negative 3. They're telling me it's supposed to be negative 3. Yeah, so they're saying it have an error in the question. Have an error. So the following is suitable for the, where's TikTok? We do number 5 TikTok. So the following is suitable for the measuring of the diameter of a human hair. Now this is probably one of the most popular questions in physics. So remember this question, or you're going and do it in me. Sorry, this guy's comment is blocking. Let me see if I can just get it off. Yeah, it's here. What's the answer for number 5? This question comes right through. Number 5. What you all think? C, micrometer screw gauge. It's not a caliper. It's not a tape measure. It's not a meter rule. It is micrometer screw gauge for this one. Let's go for number 6. Vernier caliper measurement. So we've seen it's mapped up to 6. Oh no, it's mapped up to 6 exact. This is a trick question. So it mapped up to 6 exact. After you get that it's past 6, you need to check the vernier scale to see which one is lined up. But it turned out that the 0 is lined up exact. So this is a trick question. This answer is A. This answer is A. Well, what usually happens here is that you'll have to watch somewhere down the line here to see which one is mapped up to get these smaller decimals. So as we begin to do more later on in the season, this is just a little warm-up session here to just make sure all my cylinders firing. I can't say what paper it is. It's just some random physics. So for CSEC, the force which keeps the moon in orbit is what? Just focus on getting the answers out, people. What keeps the moon in orbit? It's not magnetic, not centrifugal, not reactive. So we're going to go with gravitational. So some of the questions in physics is ridiculously easy. A uniform rod X, Y, and I've seen X, but I'm presuming that is X there. Holds a weight of 40 newtons. So we'll do some physics paper too as well. TikTokarians, as shown in the diagram of which of the following is true. Is T1 less than T2, T1 less than or equal to T2, T1 equal to T2, or T1 greater than T2. So what we have, it's uniform. This is 3 centimeters, 1 centimeter. 40 newtons is at the equilibrium. So they're saying this is the center of equilibrium. So it means that this has more weight on this side. So T1, the tension in T1 has to be higher. So T1 is not this, is not this, it's not this. Answer is D. All right, so the first 8 questions done. The thing about physics, when you're revising, it is really nice to revise through the multiple choice. Really nice to revise through the multiple choice of physics because you could very quickly cover a lot of work. So those of y'all who are really far along in your revision for different subjects, switching over to the multiple choice now helps to kind of like paint the final coat of paint and everything. But we're going to have a nice exam season. Even those of y'all who are not in the student hub, I'll be doing a lot of free stuff online. But it's better if you're in the student hub for these subjects. So like if you're in the student hub for physics, they have access to a lot of different information. All the classes from before, all the notes, all the past papers, everything. Plus we'll have the crash course. So which one is the answer for number 9? This is body is correct. Body A is in neutral equilibrium. That's not true. This is in neutral. Body B is in unstable. That's correct. Body C is in stable equilibrium. That's not true. So the only one that is correct here is A. Good, you have past papers to look at with physics. You want to start from the most recent, going all the way back as far as you have energy to do, as far as your time allows. Because physics can really change it. This is a very old version of what comes to the exam, but a lot of these questions you will see in the exam. Number 10, what is the unit of moment of a force? Moment of a force class. I know you're on YouTube right now, TikTok saying real things. TikTok saying real things right now. What is the unit of the moment of a force? B, yes, Newton meters. So what is the symbol for moment? The symbol for moment is what? So it is equal to force times distance. The symbol for moment is not N. Symbol for moment, you all could review that. Go and see if you can figure out what the symbol is. T. Very good. So force times distance, Newton meter, which is similar to a certain unit here, but the idea with this one is the force is perpendicular. It's not along the direction of the movement. So as compared with force in a direction, work done. Number 11, the diagram below drawn to scale, represents 2 forces, S and T acting on O. So which one gives the resultant? 2 forces, S and T, and we're trying to find the resultant force. And which of the following is the resultant in the direction OX? Oh, so you want to know that it's in the direction. So not, because I was looking at all of them just now and none of them mapping up. No, it's not M. The symbol for moment is T. M is mass, come on, M. So check over, just living. So which one is correct for number 11? So there's something called the parallelogram law of forces. So when you draw, so this is the resultant here. This is your resultant here. Which one? S and T. So your resultant will be like this here. So this one is the only correct one. The resultant will be like this in the direction of OX. So the answer is E. So if you didn't know, now you know. The answer is E. Why is in the chat if you're all understanding so far? Those of you all watching in the future, a lot of you guys will be watching this in the future right before the exam. So good luck in exams. We're not really yet in the sweet spot where a lot of people will be online just studying. Some people still waiting on a sign from God to start to study. Which are the following, excuse me, could be used to find the speed of an object. How do you find the speed of an object? Speed. So speed is rate of change of what? Rate of change of Somebody asked to explain number 11. Distance travel over time taken. Now, they said speed, so I would go with the answer. See, if I go change in displacement over time taken, this is more specifically velocity. So the best answer for this is actually C. Change in distance over time taken. The rate of change of distance. This one is just the parallelogram law. So if I make a force like this and another force like this, force 1, force 2, to get the resultant force, you have to extend a parallel line that maps this line, matches that line, and then a parallel line that matches this line. And the resultant force is going to be like that. Now, if I do all of them like that, you'll only see E will actually map up properly. This one, it goes like this. This one, it goes like this. This one, it goes like that. So only A is the one that will run along the direction of the force. So moving on to number 13, which of the following graphs represents a constant speed. Now, we did this in maths recently. Those of you all in my maths class. Math class. Are they supposed to know this one? Oh, by the way, press like on the stream, follow if you haven't followed yet. When we're coming out to exams, we're going to have a lot of good stuff here cooking up for you. Well, you all know I'm trying to stay up to speed with almost daily posts on TikTok. So those of you all on TikTok, follow me for inspiration and for, daily nuggets from different subjects. Constant speed, this is clearly holding a constant speed. Distance, time, this is also a constant speed, The gradient is constant speed here. You're supposed to watch this. Malika, I wasn't looking for you getting catch there. So this is constant speed and this is constant speed. Watch your units. So that's the big catch in this type of question. This is not constant speed. This is constant acceleration. Yeah. So they do try to trick you with this in this question. So it's 1 and 2. So the answer is C. Everybody understand? Everybody understand there? And number 14, which of the following is the unit of momentum? All these unit questions, unit of momentum, unit of moments, they always come. Momentum, what is the symbol for momentum now? No, momentum is mv, or change of momentum is m2 mv minus m1 mv1. But what is the symbol for momentum? Because that might be further down in this paper. Who knows? They're always asking you a symbol for momentum, symbol for moments. mv means kilograms, meters per second. So the answer is B. And yes, the symbol for this is P. Very good. People on TikTok answering too. I don't know who is that, but whoever said P there, big up yourself. The mass of a rifle. Oh, by the way, this is the units, right? You also added the units. Kilograms, meters per second. That's the unit. The mass of a rifle is 100 times the mass of a bullet. If the recoil speed of the rifle is V, then the speed of the bullet will be what? You can actually work it out. I'll just do the long way and show you. M1 V1 must be equal to M2 V2. And let's say M2 is the mass of the bullet. M1 is the mass of the rifle. V2 is the speed of the bullet. So 100 times the mass of its bullet. So let's say this is M1. This one will be M1 over 100 V2 is equal to M1 V1. The M's could cancel. Bring across the 100, you get 100 times V1 is V2. So this is the answer. 100 V. Answer is C. So it's going to be 100 times faster. Yes? So you're doing anything for keep? I want to do some pure maths. Okay, pure maths unit 1 and unit 2. Now, those of y'all who you're realizing, oh, shucks, all these questions are doing here, I didn't do it in school, I didn't revise it yet, I didn't any lessons or anything. You don't give up on it. Start memorizing it. Start memorizing the answers. These things are highly repeatable. Which of the following implements is or are designed to take advantage of a large moment provided by a relatively small force? So basically, a force multiplier. The force is being multiplied across a distance. It's not a tweezer. Not a tweezer. A tweezer, the pivot is on this side, and this is your force here. So you're actually, it's the other way around. A tweezer is for dexterity. Crowbar works, claw hammer works, pair of wire cutter even works. So 1, 2, and 4 is the answer for this, and this is a very popular question as well. I realize that you're frightened to answer these questions. Some of you all need to revise. Somebody just learning, eh? Yeah, boy, streetwear syndicate. Blessings. Blessings. A solid object, when placed in a beaker of water, just sinks to the bottom. It maybe could be made to float by doing which of the following: cutting off part of the object. Is that going to help? No, that's not going to change the density. That's not going to do anything. It's still going to, just a smaller piece just going to sink. Dissolving a lot of salt in the water. This may help, maybe, because you're increasing the density of the water. So it depends on how the object is. So let's see if there's better answers. Carrying the beaker up to the top of a high mountain. Nah. So 2 only. Only 2 could potentially help. Carrying the beaker up to the top of it's all nothing. That's just going to reduce the atmospheric pressure. And it might actually reduce the density of the water. So B is the best answer here. We're moving forward. The kinetic energy of a body of mass m and velocity v. So they're basically asking if you know the kinetic energy formula. What is the kinetic energy formula? Half mv squared. Who looking like that here? Clearly, the answer is C. C is looking like that. As we at it, you should know the potential energy formula is mgh. A glass marble X moving with a speed of 6 meters per second collides head-on with a stationary glass marble Y. What is the velocity of Y after collision, assuming X is brought to rest? So, assuming the collision is that no energy is lost, Y need to take off at the same speed. C. So, this is assuming no friction, which is the only assumption you can make here. So the answer is C. If one comes to rest, the other will go on off with the same speed, right? And we're moving. A thermocouple may be used. Depends on which mountain. That's funny. May be used as a thermometer. Which of the following properties is utilized in a thermocouple? The accent is all. I'm just looking for the word junction. Junction. So as soon as I see I know you did not comment. That dangerous comment. So as soon as you see thermocouple, just look for the word junction, class, one time. Just look for the word junction. Trust me on that one. All the rest ain't even making any sense. Absolute zero is the temperature at which air changes to liquid. No. A gas would exit no pressure. Yes. All substances contract to zero volume. Also kinda yes. Kinda. Gas molecules move at a constant. So the volume basically comes down to closer to zero, but there'll still be forces of attraction between the forces and things. So this is not, and they say all substances, it's more like gases. You would say the volume comes down to essentially zero. So a gas would exert no pressure, meaning you could totally compress the gas. The best answer here by far is B. And at absolute zero or near absolute zero, solids don't disappear. So answer is B. I know when I say kind of here, it sounds us, but yeah. If you watch the Boyce-Charles law, pressure law, you understand where I'm coming from. The purpose of the bends in the pipe is to, why are there bends in the pipe? Now, in your plumbing, there's bends underneath. That's more like a sump to always hold some water to stop the smell of the drain from coming back in. But if we have steam pipes and there's bends in the steam pipes, why do we have bends in the steam pipe? So they press like on the video there. That's so that when this expands, what happens? It don't break, allowing for expansion of the pipe. So that's an expansion. You could call it an expansion joint, expansion bend. So just memorize that. Once that long talk, just to hit expansion. I didn't even read any of the thing. Yeah, just B. B, expansion. So number 23, this has been coming every single year for like the last 400 years since they bring in CSEC physics. Just make sure you know that this is the graph of the cooling curve. Number 24, the specific latent heat of vaporization. So this has also been telling you all the high repeat questions there. And as we begin to do more, I'll probably be back with some more physics near the crash course cycle, April, when I'm doing crash courses in the student hub. I'll do a couple free online. This is a highly repeated question. The one before, highly repeated question. We passed out another high. All these unit questions, kinetic energy questions, highly repeated. This is a highly repeated question. What else was highly repeated, boy? These unit questions, very highly repeated. This Bernier Caliper question, very highly repeated. Make sure you know them. You're very likely you're going to be doing those exact same questions. Them very same questions coming back right at you. So with this question, all you're looking for is no temperature change. Only these two showing no temperature change, vaporization. So it has to be the boiling point. So C is the answer, and that's it. Latent heat means no temperature change. Yeah, man, we can do some advanced and thing coming up in the fire just now. Which of the following would be responsible for the heating of the Earth by one only radiation? Have no convection happening in space. There's no medium, no conduction. All right, this was a trash question. I think CXT removed this question. This question is trash because I don't know what they want the student to do. This is not like something that a student should. Basically, the ice melt, but there's styrofoam walls still. So I think that CXE wants the student to say radiation, but the fact is, if the ice melt in your cooler is mostly due to conduction, even though the right insulation here with these styrofoam walls, the most of the energy that melting this ice is due to conduction through the styrofoam wall itself, not through radiation, through the styrofoam walls. So it's a kind of weird question, but I think the answer that CXE has is C for this. So, but you're not supposed to see this question. I don't see this question coming again like in the last 10 years or so, if my memory serves me correct. I think that question was removed. So, yeah, so the styrofoam is an insulator, but it's not a perfect insulator. It's not a perfect insulator. Heat will still conduct through the styrofoam. And the most heat loss is coming from the conduction, not from radiation. So deep water, shallow water. So this is a highly repeated question. And the whole idea is that it slows down in the shallow water. Slow. It gets slower. So speed of the wave decreases. 2. This is 1 for sure. The frequency, if the speed goes down, the wave speed equation V is equal to F lambda. So if the speed is going down and the frequency, nothing happens to the frequency. The frequency remains the same. Meaning, if you stand up on a boat and you're watching at one spot and you count the waves as they pass by in 60 minutes, and on 1 minute, 60 seconds, you'll count the same number of waves as if somebody's on the shore and they count the waves. They'll count the same number of waves because they can't make up no waves in between. Waves and created, waves coming from there, both are counting the same waves. So the frequency remains the same. The idea is so the idea is I can't read this man comments at all. Why? The idea is D. The idea is D. The answer is D. The frequency of the wave, nothing happens to this. The wavelength decreases. So if you ever notice, you're on the shore and you ever notice that the waves is bunch up, the wavelengths get shorter. They're shorter and shorter as they reach to the shore. So they crash. They actually bunch up so much they top over. That's why a wave crash as it reaches the shore. 28. Which of the following graphs relates the volume of a gas to its Celsius temperature? So this is the answer. If it was absolute, it would have been like this. So if you see K here, temperature in Kelvin, it would have been here, absolute 0. The same volume going to 0 either. For the gas, remember I said kinda volume goes to 0. No pressure exits. So the answer is D. But since it is Celsius, and you can extrapolate this down to 273. So they ask you all kind of different versions of this. All kind of different versions of this, right? So look out for that. We're nearly halfway finished already. So I told you, revising physics multiple choice, biology multiple choice, even chemistry multiple choice isn't that bad. So if you're feeling a little tired and revising, pull out a multiple choice and vibe it, especially if you're like getting 60, 70, 80% already in the exam. You just need to make sure that you have these solutions. Don't trust ChatGPT and all these solutions. ChatGPTs be lying to you on some of these questions. Straight to your face. A pencil point is dipped into water at point P in front of the straight barrier. The reflected wave would look like, this is not a reflective wave, the reflected wave, they put it in caps, so the answer is D. So this is the actual wave going here and then it will reflect and bounce back like this, right? Which is D. So careful with that question. They bring this question still, but they change it up a slight. So like a new look to the question. When a special whistle is blown, dogs can hear it, but people can't. So the following is a frequency. So you're supposed to know that humans can hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. If you hear above that, maybe you're not human, I don't know. Camera start following me. So maybe I come some kind of, so tree. We can hear them trees, them. Are too high. So that's our range there, and you actually need to know the range. Compared with X-rays, radio waves have a, is it longer wavelength compared to X-rays? Yes, it is longer wavelength. Higher frequency, no. Travel faster than air, no. Both of them travel the same speed. Pass through a sheet of metal more easily. No, it's actually the other way around. X-rays are more penetrative than radio waves. Radio waves can have wavelengths up to kilometers and things, you know. Yes, sir. X-rays wavelengths are fraction of a meter. The sharp edges of a shadow suggest that light travels in straight lines. Sharp edges, he didn't turn around the corner and blur the edge, you know. Straight lines. 37, which of the following are true of the image produced by a plane mirror? The image is not enlarged. If it's a plane mirror and you're seeing yourself looking bigger, that will be kind of spooky. It is erect. It is vertical. That's a weird thing to say about vertical. They usually use another word, laterally inverted, and you go with that now. Right? You're right. But it's not enlarged. So this question has changed. Wait, why I circle that? But it's 2 and 3. So yeah, they normally change up this question a little bit too. They use laterally inverted. The light ray shown in the diagram above is incident at the air glass interference. If the critical angle for glass is 45 degrees, the light ray will be. So if the critical angle is 45 degrees, this angle exceeds the critical angle. So therefore it will be reflected. Is the answer. That's just the rule of it. That's just the rule. Yeah, man. People sharing up the live. Blessings. I appreciate that. I've seen people sharing the live. Jump in. For which of the following, welcome. Make yourself at home. For which of the following object distances will a convex lens of focal length 18 centimeters produce a real image? The focal length is 18. So this is your F. That's 18. So where would you produce real images? If you come in front of the focal length, you don't. So 2 is out. 1 is out. So these 2 would work. 2 and 3. C. You must know that. So that's just a lot of physics. So I'm doing physics here, and somebody asked me to say, let's do physics. Oh no, they're like they're shocked that I'm doing physics. Yes, physics. Physics is probably my main. Physics is my main. Although maths is my main online, but physics, I'm probably stronger in physics. My degree is in mechanical engineering. Which of the ray diagrams shown above are correct? Ray diagram shown above are correct. So how this thing diverging, boy? And how you converging? So you're supposed to diverge and you're supposed to converge. Great. We cooking. So 1 and 4. 1 and 4 only. D. Great. Apparently the muffin man on TikTok misses me. Okay. Okay, Muffin Man. So so is it too late to join your classes exam in 2027? My classes for 2027 exam starts in July. So I don't know what I mean by too late. You could join the Form 4 classes. You could join Form 4 classes. You have Form 4 classes ongoing. The diagram, yeah, feel free to answer. YouTube, feel free to answer. We have a steady 20 to 30 people on YouTube here. On TikTok, we have a 78. The diagram above shows a small negatively charged dust particle. Ooh, Flemings? Flemings? No Flemings. No north and south magnets or anything here. So, no Flemings. So, we actually, this is just to see how the electric charge will go. That don't make any real noise, boy. This is just to see how the electric charge will go. And this is your positive, this is your negative. So this is your positive terminal, negative terminal here attached. That electric charge, he didn't want to go up there and deal with that negativity. So this going down, this is going down like this. Who is Janam Lalchat? Why Janam Lalchat writing these things? When we play in League, boy, I'm so glad I never play League of Legends, because my personality would have me wasting my life on League of Legends. I would be, you would not see no Kerwin Spring and TikTok doing no physics and maths, and all also I in a rank to match. Which of the following equations is not correct? So Q equal IT is what they're aiming at for this equation. Q equal IT, so that's good. V equal IR. What? There's a 1? What is that? I don't know what that is. Joules is amps by ohms. So E is VQ. No, amps by E is IR. So something missing here that was actually correct. V equal IR. So I think they were missing something here because this is wrong. C is wrong. Is correct. Let me check. Power is IV or the V. Yeah, it looked like all of these supposed to be wrong then. So it really is correct. So this is correct. Yeah, because all the rest wrong. All the rest wrong. All the rest wrong. E is equal to VQ. V over no EVQ, yeah, EVQ. That's good. Yeah, that's good. V is equal to I, Q is equal to IT. This is wrong, So I was just trying to see what they have there. So A is the only one that makes sense. A is the only one that makes sense. This was written bad. So it had some errors in this paper. I remember back in my days, a lot of these CSEC multiple choice used to have errors. There's less errors now, but there's still errors. Which are the following formulae every now and then? Which are the following formulae? Especially in niche subjects like maths, you wouldn't catch much errors in maths multiple choice now. But like you might see some in physics, some in geography and things. Which are the following formulae in which of these symbols have their usual meaning is a mathematical expression of ohms or V equal IR. I have 3 marks there, boy. Don't get easier than that. Which of the following is a representation of the current versus potential difference relationship for a metallic conductor at a constant temperature? Why it backwards? I don't even understand what happening here. Voltage now. Why it have some resistance before it starts? Why this looking like a diode? Let's just go with B now. Let's just go with B for the people. Because this is like an ohmic conductor, right? A metallic conductor at a constant temperature. So everything is supposed to be everything here. What you see in TikTok? Everything good? Or press like? Feel free to follow me. We're going to push a lot of work up until exam. This is just the now start. Don't worry, things going to heat up. In domestic installation systems, which are the following should be placed in the live wire? Who we want to place in the live wire? We don't place switches. No, we place everything in the live wire. And we place switches in the live wire too. For sure, we put in the circuit breakers and the fuses in the live wire. But I think we place this switch in the live wire too. I can't remember this one. Forget this one, yes? When I was wiring my house, I placed the switch in the I placed the switch in the live wire. So, and the house working good. So yeah, we'll go with D now. You switch in the live. You throw everything in the live. You want the circuit breaker, the fuses, everybody throwing up in the live. I'm going to research the answer here. Let me see. So number 42, which of the following is correct? So they used to, they say everything going in the live. Yeah, everything in the live. Which of the following is correct? Class, which of the following is correct? Q is carbon, R is zinc, P is copper oxide, Q is carbon, R is iron, S is ammonium chloride, S is not sulfuric acid, and P is manganese dioxide. R is iron, which of the following is correct? Q is carbon. Q is carbon, R is zinc. P is not copper oxide. Q is carbon. R is iron. So I think it's A. So this battery thing, I haven't seen this battery question in a while. I was doing this with the class recently. And I made the class draw it. So I think this is the zinc shell here, and this is the carbon electrode right there. So cool. Yeah, the outer is just a piece of some kind of flaky cardboard thing or whatever they want to coat that outside with. A single experiment was conducted using the circuit diagram above. Oh, this question has shown some resurgence. I think which is faulty and which of the following is right. The bulb is defective, the battery is defective, the diode is defective. Which one is true? Which one is true? So the bulb lighting in both of it, that was it. The bulb was lit to the normal brightness in each case. So, Alia, answer that question. What y'all think is the answer to that question? What we thinking is the answer to that question, class? B, the diode is defective? Yes, Midnight Rider is correct. The diode is defective. TikTok, what do you have? Good night, TikTok. Have people just cycling in and out, boy. Everybody like, yo, what is he seeing? Boom. And they gone. So, yes, B, right? This diode supposed to not work. So the bulb not supposed to light, and it's supposed to work. So the bulb supposed to light. So if both lighting in each case, that means the diode misbehaving. Sinusoidal voltage was displayed as shown. If the voltage was rectified using a single half-wave rectification. This not rectified, this not rectified. This double, this doing some kind of robot. This is still AC. This looking good to me. This is full wave rectification. So C is the answer. There we go. We are cooking. We're coming down to the end, and the physics is a vibe. Yeah. So which of the following pairs of statements is true for both iron and steel? Iron, easily magnetized. Steel does not retain magnetism. Both have to be truant, so not true. Not true. Easily magnetized, retains magnetism. Well, C is good. Not easily magnetized. All right, C. C is the way forward in this life. This used to be a real popular question back in the days. I don't see that much now. We'll see what we're doing with crash course and thing. Which of the following are correct? North to south, north to north. Everything here looking good to me. North to south. Everything here looking copacetic. Oh, no. I now see something here. What is that? Wait, that was real sneaky, boy. Hey, watch this boy, Lalchan, boy. Nothing could enter the north. What kind of devilish question is this, boy? That's real wicked to do that. Because you're watching this and you're like, all right, I didn't expect to see them tree. That was wicked. I don't like that question at all. That real evil. Which of the following is most suitable for the core of an electromagnet? Which of the following is core for an electromagnet? An electromagnet, we need soft iron. We're moving forward. Yeah, so this used to be something that used to give me hell to memorize. Which one is B positive? Because it's between glass and the polythene, right? So the glass, I know the glass is positive. Why is the glass positive? Because it's losing electrons. Losing electrons. I don't know why it's bold. Polythene is the negative one. So this one gains electrons, this one loses electrons. Or they had to figure out a way to memorize that because they could ask you about glass or polythene and I do all you to mix it up, right? I used to be mixing up. That was one of the, there's one or two things that you learn right before the exam. This was one of them that I just verify right before the exam. Oh, by the way, when you're doing past papers and you see something in bold, that don't necessarily mean that's the answer. Somehow when they're printing out some of these papers, it's just one of the things is just bold out all of a sudden. I'm sure you might see it again. Which of the following makes use of the magnetic field generated by an electric current? This is supposed to be some kind of moving coil something, right? So some moving coil something. Something is missing there. I know that question from back in the days. So DC motor moving coil something, electric iron. This don't make use of that. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2 only. Electric current, magnetic field. It's 1 and 2 for this answer. Not too sure this question is show up again, but I remember this error from the print. It is possible to induce a voltage in a wire coil by using a steady magnetic field and using a voltage, right? Changing magnetic field. We just talked about this in class. I just had physics class with Somalia here. I seen Malika, seeing Kirsten. I must have a few people. Anybody else here from physics class? I was just in, and they come for the late night session. So changing magnetic field. We did this with the transformers. For a simple AC generator, which of the following graphs will be produced by 2 complete rotations of the armature? So one rotation is make the current go so. That's one complete rotation. So 2, C is the answer. C is the answer for that. 2 complete rotations, in case you don't know. Now you know. Some of these questions you're kind of learning on the way. Anybody learn something tonight? The electric power supply to homes and to factories is alternating rather than direct. Transmission losses. B. Popular question. Let's see. You're going to see something about transmission losses in these questions. This is not maths. This is physics. This is physics. Just talking to my TikTok crew here. And what more? We're coming down to the end and we reach 53. The parts label X. Okay, so this is slip rings. If it was split rings, you would have seen a split. And the split rings are more like this, with the carbon brushes here, and this connected going so. From the time you see 2 of them, you know you're dealing with these slippies. So if you see one setup like this, you know you're dealing with your split rings. So this one is for the motor, this one is for the generator. Those of y'all in my class, you're supposed to be fresh. And it's supposed to be fresh with this. Commutator, split ring commutator, and slip rings. Cool. So you following that again, AC generator. AC generator. So this coming from the turbines, this moving, and it's going to move, and it's going to generate electricity. Why we know the giveaway is because you're seeing slip rings. If it was a motor, you would see that. And they don't test you on DC generator, so I don't know. They don't test you on no DC generator in this. So we're just moving forward. What's the other? Voltmeter and ammeter. Well, that is wild. If anybody put voltmeter and ammeter here, but I do physics in 2027. Appropriate labels for W and X would be W and X appropriate labels. Imagine if you come in here and you're like, some people in TikTok coming in here and they're like, I don't think I studied this in maths yet. You know? What part of maths is this? What part of maths is this? Oh God, we are cooked. No, it's physics. It's physics. Appropriate labels for W and X would be what? It's W is a step up transformer. So one of these two. X is AC. So bang, C. We're looking at C. Stepping up on his AC. Always remember that as the AC. Remember somebody made a mistake in that in class today. 56, which are the following, is an isotope. So we're looking for the same 6. Boom. B. Different mass number, same proton number. It don't get easier than that. You just need to know what an isotope is. Half-life. They're going to ask you like 3 questions about half-life earlier. In that paper. They're going to ask you draw graph half-life. They just love half-life in a multiple choice, so make sure you can do half-life. It is physics. It is half the time required by the nucleus to decay. It's the time, this is rarely repeat. It is time for half of the nuclei of a sample to decay. We actually accept this as well. And you're referring to the radioactive nuclei when you say that, right? It's not all the sample just decaying and disappearing. And it don't even disappear, it's changed into other substances. It is time for the activity of any random process to fall to 1/2 of its original value. Whoa, I take in everything. You could get half-lives outside of radioactivity. And that is describing half-life. Activity of a process went to half its volume. The time taken for that to happen, that's half-life. But this version of the question don't really come again. Normally, the version of the question that is come is 1 and 2 is the answer. So I don't know if somebody else realizing that and just that's why they picked me. This version of the question don't usually come again. Normally in this third one, you ask me how I know that is. I just did a question like this today when I was checking some questions. This version of this don't really come again. Normally this answers be like, what is for? The rate of disintegrations per second or some kind of stupidness is right in this third one. So usually the answer is 1 and 2, but in this case it's 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, but it's in Catherine's Girls School. I think there's some of my SCA students probably who will shout out there. So take a shout out there, sis. Now we move back onto the big people subject. When somebody watching this and they're like, good, right, we're behind on the physics syllabus, like you confirmed now. When alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays from a radioactive source are subject to transverse magnetic field, which of them would not deviate? That's going to be our good friend Gamma. Gamma, because he has no charge. Wait, what? Magnetic? Yeah, Gamma. Gamma really want nothing to do with that. Alpha and beta can take a little move here and there. Moving to and fro. But Gamma not moving anyway. And it depends on a transverse magnetic field. Smart at 90 degrees. Very good. So they're paying attention. So an isotope. Last 2 questions just like that. And it took us less than an hour. And I was talking and interacting. And I take a little while to start to, like about 4 minutes. Revise your physics multiple choice. There's no reason why you can't do like 10 years of physics. For those of you who are doing these subjects, physics, biology, chemistry, geography, 10 years of maths even. Maths will take a little longer. And I see a gamma, an isotope of uranium 234, 92 changes to whatever that is. This is an example of, so what happened here, boy, you went down 2 and you lost 4. So this guy roll out. No, that guy didn't roll out. This guy roll out. What's an alpha particle? An alpha particle is a helium nuclei, 2, 4. So alpha decay. The beta decay is actually send them up. We're going to do that in class next week. Those of you who want to join my class, if you're here and you're like, I need extra work, sir. No, I need to put my personal number there, yes. 3101306. Yeah, so WhatsApp the student hub. And we can squeeze in a few more in my class. There's the private candidates class as well. You could also jump in. Miss Christie teaches that. You could jump in for the last sweat here and jump in for we have Feb, March, April, May. We have a crash course here. We are here right now. We're going to do 2 more theoretical sessions and his past papers into the crash course. So we reach atomic physics. Last 2 classes of atomic physics. So in this equation, change in energy is equal to change in mc squared. C is the speed of light. M is the change in mass. It's not specific heat capacity. Speed of light, mass loss. This is better. This is better. Because that delta M, always the mass The delta means change in mass. So D is even better. D is the better answer. All right, Mr. Lalchan, thanks for the laughs. But all right, guys, so what you all think? Out of this, how much of it you understand now? Is it a 60 out of 60? Should be above 55. Go. I hope this inspired you, those of you all who are studious and were up here with me studying. We finished before 10 o'clock, so that's nice. Yes, I will be doing 12-hour crash courses. Those happen in May. But I would encourage you all to join our classes early. During this stage, if I used to get paid every time somebody say I wish I'd joined earlier, I'd make some nice money. So so those of you who are not in the student hub classes, feel free to pop in and get on top of things, especially in the subjects that you're weak in. This is the number. You could take it down. You could WhatsApp them even now, what they'll answer in the morning. And you could get going. You can join the class as early as tomorrow. You can be inside one of the classes. Love and blessings, everybody. Till we meet again. It was nice. So I can stream from both